Okay, last two lessons we learned about the demand and supply curves separately. We learned about consumer buying, the demand behavior. We learned about sellers' behavior, which is a supply curve. Now today we are putting the two curves together. Now when we put the two curves together, it yields something that we take for granted in our everyday life. Where does the market price comes from? Now, everything has a price. Huh? You go to the supermarket, everything has got a price. Now, who decides on this price? Have you ever wondered? Like, why is this broccoli this price? Okay, who decides? Now, in this topic where we put demand and supply together, you will have an understanding of how prices is derived from market forces, as well as what happens when the government comes in to intervene. Okay, let's bring out our two curves together. Okay, you have our demand curve, okay, downward sloping. All right, let's revise a little bit. Downward sloping because consumers, they want to buy less at high price, okay, and buy more at low price. Okay, opposite of that, the sellers, they sell little at low price. They want to make money, so low price, they're not so interested. High price, they want to sell a lot. Okay, two forces with such different kind of mindset. But can you see that there's one meeting point here? Now this meeting point is very important. We call this the point of equilibrium. Alright, something is equal at that point. Okay, so despite two very different kind of mindset, they can come into an agreement at a point of equilibrium. Okay, where they agree and where they meet. Now at a point of equilibrium, it gives us two very important pieces of information. Now the first one is the price level. This is how the price level is being derived in any market, selling any goods, any service. Okay, depending on what is the demand and what's the supply condition, there will be a price that will evolve from this demand and supply forces. Okay, so our price level comes, all right, from the equilibrium point of the demand curve and the supply curve. The demand and supply curve equilibrium point also yield the equilibrium quantity. Now, this equilibrium quantity tells us how much good or of that service, okay, is being sold or bought in the market. Okay, so at this equilibrium point, it tells us this amount of goods or service is being sold, okay, by the sellers and bought by the consumers at this market price. Okay, so these are the two very important information that this equilibrium point can tell us. So when you draw the diagram, okay, it's very important to quickly locate the equilibrium point and mark it down like this. Now, as you probably know, prices does not stay the same. Alright, when you observe things that you buy, prices can go up, prices can come down. Now, stop to think for a while. If prices is the result of the meeting point of the demand curve and the supply curve, all right, which means that when the price change, it is because one or both of these curves have shifted. Okay, you have learned about shifting in the past couple of lessons. Okay, that demand curve can shift to the left or right, supply curve can shift to the left or right. Okay, when one of the curves shifts, the equilibrium point will change and the market prices will change. Alright, it will either increase or decrease. Alright, so either of the curves shifting will cause changes to the market or the equilibrium price. Now take a look at this. This is a scene in London where people are queuing for the iPhone. Now, when so many people want to buy a certain good, alright, so many people want to buy a certain good, do you think the price will be going up or coming down? Alright, a lot of people wanting one kind of good. Now, if you, those of you who use the iPhone, those of you who don't, you can go and Google a little bit on historic prices. Has the price of iPhone been rising or falling? Okay, when so many people want the good. Alright, so go and think about it. Now take a look at this picture. This is a picture of a supermarket, all right, where there is a shortage of supply of vegetable due to a natural disaster. There's a landslide at Cameron Highland where vegetables are being grown. Okay, you can see there's nothing here where vegetables are placed, where people buy and choose their vegetables. There's nothing here, all right, because of this event. All right, there's a short of supply of vegetables. Okay, now when there is a shortage in the supply of a good, do you think the price of the good is going to become more expensive or cheaper? All right, think about it. Okay, sometimes when things happen and certain supply of important goods are short, all right, does the price go up or come down? Now, if you have an answer or you have experienced this yourself, can you, on the demand and supply curve, try to play around with the diagram, which curve should shift to reflect this situation that we are seeing now? Okay, now don't worry if this gets a bit more difficult, you will have plenty of exercises to do in the tutorial. Okay, now as mentioned in our last slide, our price level can go up, can come down when the equilibrium point changes. We mentioned that equilibrium point can change when the curve shifts. Now, you can see that the price level over here on a simple demand and supply diagram is the result of buyer's behavior, okay, controlling the demand, and seller's behavior controlling the supply curve. Okay, now in an ordinary market controlled by these two groups of people, there will be a market price that will evolve through the market. Okay, now we bring out a third party that's very, very important in our study of economics, which is the government. Okay, government, because they hold legislative power, all right, they can force the equilibrium price to go up or down without the change in demand or supply curve. Okay, now what do I mean? That means the price originally has already been decided by the demand and supply curve, okay, by the buyer's behavior, by the seller's behavior. For some reason, the government may want to change the price level, either increase it or lower it. Okay, now on the demand and supply curve, you can try putting a line across a higher price or a lower price. Okay, then you think about what happens to the market when you push the price lower or push the price higher. Okay, now think about if you were the government, why would you want to do such a thing? All right, why would you want to change the price? Okay, and what happens when the price of a product is changed? Either it is being increased or decreased. Okay, so something for you to think about.